War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the US ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself, for my wife, for my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes. War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
Absolutely. Now get ready and stop hogging the mirror.
Right.
Okay guys, welcome to the channel. This is my first walkthrough of Fallout 4. And I'll be doing a manual sniper on this. I'll just try and keep this character selection short, because it does get boring.
I did a haircut yesterday.
It looks sniperish enough. So yeah, I'll be walking you through my sniper build, showing you the tips and tricks through that, and also some general tips when playing Fallout in order to improve your gameplay.
Grognak the Barbarian in the Jungle of the Bat Babies. My favorite.
That's right. Which is why we've developed some whiz-bang new weapons, so bullies around the world never bother us.
Let's get us some cigarettes.
It's a
Some wine.
to be drinking.
Oh, sounds like someone made a sticky. I shall attend to young Shaw.
You know, I was nervous at first, but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
Tactical nuclear catapult. Enlist now and demo one today. And now for a brief look at the local weather.
Wish this guy comes sooner. It takes too long. It's gonna start coming soon here. Annoying having to wait for him.
Sugar bombs. 100% daily value of sugar. I'm so proud of her. Good old USA.
Ring the doorbell. Alright.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Good morning.
Isn't it? You...
Then I'm glad you...
Oh, me?
Sounds great.
Oh,
Sure, let's do it.
splendid.
Okay, so to start off in any build here, you have to have intelligence 10 to maximize the experience gained through the first bit. You change it after the first little part before you get out of the vault. So yeah, intelligence 10. I do luck 10 as well to get a critical hit banked up, and then I'll just pop some agility in to help with sneaking if I do that, and VATS. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. If you're really struggling, then put some into endurance, but honestly it's really easy, so just pop it into agility.
Wonderful. That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I have my moments. Codsworth.
Mr.
You
Danny,
heard Codsworth.
if I may,
Go on.
Sean requires your personal attention. A boy needs his father after all.
How are the two most important men in my life doing? Spin the mobile a bit. He loves that. Hey, how's my little guy? Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for...
And Mr.
Stop it.
Not gonna happen.
Sir, Mum, you should come and see this.
Codsworth? What's wrong?
Followed by yes, followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions. We're trying to get confirmation.
What?
We seem to have lost
What did
contact
he
with our
say?
affiliate stations.
Oh, no.
We do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Oh my god.
We need to get
Alright.
now.
Oh, another thing to note is that the points you pop into agility increases your stamina, or action points, not and points into endurance. So if you want to be able to sprint long distances, then
We're on the list.
put points into agility.
Adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you!
Good luck, ma'am. Got it.
Oh, sure.
You two, follow me. Come on.
What's gonna happen to all those people outside?
Step on the platform in the center. Almost there. We're gonna be okay. I love you. Both of you.
We love you too.
And bang.
Hold on.
Just standing there. That is poorly done by Bethesda. I mean, I know they do a lot of things poor, but that's... some of their cutscenes, in fact a lot of their cutscenes are just quite poorly done. The IDs are there, but yeah, they've got to get a new team into that, to be honest.
We made it.
Everyone please step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion. No need to worry, folks. We'll get everyone situated in your new home. Vault 111. A better future underground. Yes, up the stairs. Just this way. Step over to the table. Take a seat.
We'll leave those seats before
Thanks.
we take burn.
What now?
Just follow the doctor here. He'll show you where to go.
All right, you three. Follow me. It's gone. Our home. Everything we had.
Sir?
My mother and father down in D.C.
Ditches the husband for this doctor.
Hey there.
Just this way.
A flog. Deserves to die.
This way, please. Oh, we'll be going over all that in orientation.
Prepared for the future, right?
Just step in here and put your vault suit on. Pod will decontaminate and depressurize before we head deeper. Just relax.
Time for a whole new life.
Resident secure. Occupant vitals normal. Procedure complete. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the one. Here.
Open it. Almost. Everything's gonna be fine. Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you shot.
There's not even any blood. Okay. It's like a male physique as well. I did not do that character well. Okay, so here we go. First thing we do is open up Noah's pod here and get the ring. We just
I'll find you.
talk to him and it comes up.
Get shot back.
And collect everything that you find in the dismiss room. Even if it doesn't seem like much, it'll come into use later on. Whether it's making your caps or some materials you use for building.
Giant roaches? What the hell?
If you go into this terminal, you can get a game. It's like Donkey Kong, Save the Girl, that sort of stuff. If you can, you could try and get that before that happens. Like sometimes the lightning stuff doesn't go straight away, so don't go through that. That was close. And just switch back to the melee weapon there. You don't want to use the pistol at the start. Just waste ammo that you could be using later on when you get out of the vault. No. Okay, so if we come over here, some more ammo, some more jumpsuit, and there's ammo in this locker. I've lost a bit of health. I'll just quickly go put that back. There we go. So just going to change aim special attributes, and starting from the top at strength, the build for this is strength 2, perception 3, endurance 5, charisma 3, intelligence 6, and agility 8. Now strength 2 allows us to get armor. Perception 3 allows us to get lockpicking and rifleman. Endurance allows us to get chem resistance and rad resistance. Charisma is only at 3 because we really only need Lone Wanderer in this one. Intelligence 6 for the chemist perk, and agility for like all your sneak attacks and sneaking, etc. We'll be putting the special book into luck so that we can then get Bloody Mess, which increases damage. It's always good. So yeah, that's the build. Oh, if you don't want that rad resistance or any additional ones, then reduce the endurance by couple points and pop them. It doesn't really matter anywhere, but I would recommend agility or perhaps charisma to get local leader. But I've found that the extra rad resistance helps a lot with exploring definitely southeast of the Commonwealth, but also in the Far Harbor DLC. That's got a ton of rad stuff there, so So if we just go left across here, and there'll be some blood leaf, and just collect some of this, and head up here to Codsworth.
Codsworth.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's
Codsworth?
but of course. But you,
She's...
sir, it's been
Uh-huh. Sean's been kidnapped. But I'm going to...
it's worth
200 years?
a bit of that means.
Sure.
Always go for the speech check here. It's 100% success rate, so even if you are on Charisma 1, you know, you still get it.
You're acting...
I
It's, you know, free XP there, so...
Right.
I and
Stay with me, pal. Focus. Uh-huh. Thank you, Codsworth.
now, shall we search?
And say no here. Killing the enemies is like really easy. You know, at most, you know, if you're really bad, you'll lose like half health, and that's nothing. But really, you shouldn't be losing too much health, and you'll get all the XP this way. So here's the special book. You just walk into your house, into Sean's room, and then choose the attribute. We're doing bring it into luck. And just generally pick up this stuff around here. Yeah, always check mirrors. If you see a mirror, look, they usually have your stuff like your stim packs, bobby pins, Rad-X, Rad-Away, all the useful stuff here. So you see one, check it. So your first group of enemies is in this yellow building, just up the road. So they're going to sneak and then just... I use VATS here to be fair, but... you could easily do that without it. It just helps using VATS with a melee weapon just helps get that extra distance. Yeah. And if you see Nuka-Colas, get them because they're pretty expensive and they can be useful. Not too much. And the last group of enemies here is in the blue house. One of these guys does move around a lot, so just be this one here, that is. So watch out for that. And one's there and there, so. And that's it.
That's it.
So just before we leave Sanctuary here, there's a couple red roaches around here, and there's also a few more, well, one lock, a hack, and a bomb to disarm. All 3 XP really, they're all novice. So that doesn't have one there. Oh yeah, make sure to get that Med-X there. They can come in handy. So disarm the bomb first, and then disarm the trigger. Just better safe than sorry. I don't think it matters, but so yeah, we've just gained a level 2 and we haven't even gotten out of the first settlement, so yeah. That was a bit of a tricky one, to be fair. Yeah, sometimes you just get a horrible spawn, and you just have to make do with it. Just, make sure to check this. There's usually a few grenades in there. So just go around here. Oh, got to tidy up the place a little bit. Also get a bit more resources to play around with. There's usually some money in there, but there's some caps there and all the time, so let's make a call. And just offload all your junk there, and anything you don't especially need, but want to keep. So like blood leaf is something that you just pop away. Radix is only 0.1, so leave that. Yeah, and that's generally about it. Oh, just check if you can make any drugs. The drugs you want to be making is Psychojet, Jet, and I mean you can make Psycho, but I generally just pick up enough, so I don't bother with it. Oh, one other thing is that we need to rearrange this. And get our first point. So the very first perk you do, doesn't matter what, is Lone Wanderer. You take less damage and your carry rate is increased by 50, so it's really good. And level 2 just doubles that. Level 3 adds more damage, so yeah, that's your number one perk that you want to focus on. If you can get it, you get it. Don't bother about getting all that, that just burdens you down. You're only going to sell it, and it weighs a bit too much to be worth selling, or to be worth lugging around and then selling. So here, just take a shot from there. Ah. Well, I spent way too much ammo there. Yeah, that was not... that was very bad. So what you want to do here is just hit each raider once. And if you get seen, make sure to hide. So that they go back shooting Garvey. So we've already hit this raider, so we're just gonna go up. And try and get... oh, just killed him. Oh, I still got the XP for the other one, so it's all good.
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please.
And then we have at level 3. See, ideally you want to be at about level 3 here. Or like very close to. Yeah, definitely with lower levels of intelligence you're going to struggle getting to level 3, but if you can make it to level 3, that's really good. And just before we go inside, we'll do our gear. Oh, so we've got a... yeah, getting a shotgun as a drop, that's pretty good, so don't throw it out, you know. That's really good. You might as well get a perk. So in here, I'd recommend getting Locksmith if you had, or gone down Endurance and popped some into Perception. Otherwise, get Sneak. Because we want to get Sneak level 2 at level 5. and then again at level 12 for the 3rd rank. Oh, that was a poor shot. I'm failing today. Realistically, I should have been able to finish him off with 3 less bullets. So I have done it in 3 or 4 bullets. So yeah, so just wait until this guy comes around. He usually comes around here. And when he does, just go at it. Yeah. Just before you attempt to do this one, quick save, because there's this bug here that just you can't get into it, and you end up like consistently walking there. So hopefully it won't happen. You see, it does this, and you can't get out of it unless reloading. So we'll just go back to our quick save here and try again from another spot. Hopefully we'll get in. Yep. Otherwise you have to do all that again, and it gets annoying if you do that. So once you've done all that, set up here, loot the table, and then turn right. Don't get this bag of cement. It's the weight to value ratio is way too low. And just check all of these. The drops are random, so you'll get some one save and some another save. So when you're using melee weapons like that, try and let the your enemy run out of ammo, and once they start reloading, then you go. And it seems pretty obvious, but yeah, really saves you. Oh, notice how that his attack barely did anything. That's because when you invert, the damage that you receive is reduced significantly.
Man, I don't know who you are, but just
Here's a perception bobblehead.
Preston Garvey.
So yeah, if you're going to receive like a devastating blow and you can't escape it, just go into VATS or something, and yeah, you've got a higher chance of surviving there.
A month ago, there were 20 of us.
Right. Sorry.
And the other thing, of course, is like using a slow time drug or
Good to meet someone.
actually healing through the inventory and whatnot, because you can
Idea can make all the difference.
use items within the inventory.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school. Pre-war. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie.
This is crazy.
Just...
Sure. Huh.
It'll work. It can be powered.
I'll help if I can.
But we can't get to the... Look.
Actually, I already grabbed the fusion.
Well, all right. Maybe our luck's finally turning around. Once you jack the core into the power armor and grab that minigun, those raiders will know they picked the wrong fight. Good luck.
Careful, kid. There's something coming. And it's angry.
It's angry. Alright, so just go to the right here. There's usually something in there, and sometimes in there. So just make sure to check. And also around there. And you're good to head out. Now ideally, after you finish this, the rest of this quest, you'll be level 4. I think even when you're at intelligence 5, you can get to level 4, so... Make sure to get a hit on that guy there. Don't worry about him finding you, he can't hit you. Well, he can, but like, he barely does any damage. This shotgun, we'll let him have 2 shots, and then jump down. Why isn't he running away? He usually runs away with all the... He's just standing there. That is very odd. So yeah, before the beast, so to speak, comes out, you really want to get a hit on as many raiders left as possible, and so that you get that XP gain. See, there's another one there. And then you're pretty much good to switch to the minigun. There's something here. Try and lure him out and hit this car. And it'll explode. If you time it right, it'll explode when he's around it. It'll deal a ton of damage, plus burning damage. So yeah, it's really hard to get that part. So, go now. Ah. Hopefully that's gonna explode. Yeah, that was the car exploding just then. Yeah, when you're in here, be careful because he can glitch into the building with you. So just be mindful of that when you around a wheel. Yeah, I'll drop a few of these. There was a few bodies we didn't get to loot, so I'll just do that. If you're really struggling with carry weight, you can fast travel back to your Red Rocket, dump some gear there, and then come back and pick it up. But generally, it doesn't matter too much if you miss like one body or even two, as long as you've filled up your carry weight as much as possible.
Listen. I'll take what I can. I could use them.
All right, Garvey.
Oh,
My destiny?
you're a man.
Bullshit. You're trying to play me for a fool.
Oh, no.
Right.
Eddie,
Uh-huh.
the great green.
What's in
Look,
Mama Murphy, we talked about this. That jump is gonna kill you.
we're all gonna die.
So yeah, try and keep Garvey on your good side for now. You want to build up settlements and whatnot, and expand the Minutemen, so that when you finish the Nuka World DLC, you can come in, your settlements will be strong, and you can take over them with raiders. That way, the raiders will be happy. And well, you can't. The thing is, you can't build in any of the settlements that you intimidate, and you need to intimidate settlements in giving their food to your raider settlements. So the idea is to side with the Minutemen first off, build them up,
Easy there, Mr. Power Armor. This doesn't
and
involve
take them over later on. So here, if you've got high charisma, do the speech check. If not, just offer him help. I only have 3, so I'm just going to offer some help. And always ask for the money, you know.
I'm not here to haggle.
I'll talk to her.
Appreciate it.
There's always a chance she'll get it.
I saw you in that poison cellar talking. Well?
I'm trying to decide which. You know, we'll definitely try and get a
So that's how it's gonna be, huh? Hope you've made...
shotgun out. So as soon as he starts to attack, just load him up with a VAT shot. Oh, didn't mean to get that. That way you'll stagger them and you'll be able to land a regular shot with them next without them hitting you. Just gonna put that on.
Too bad about Trudy. But the upstairs.
Let's see what you have.
Alright, so sell off all your weapons, excluding the minigun for now. Yeah, these tend to weigh the most. And go in and if you really want Jet, you can get it, but you don't really need it at this time. You more need health, so I tend to get stim packs. I'll get a bunch actually because I've got a lot of apparel. And because I've still got a I'll sell the minigun now. You can sell these rings anytime. They weigh nothing, you know, so keep them on or don't. It's up to you there. But you really want to clear out anything in your weapons, apparel and aid sections that you're not going to use or that you don't think you'll use. And then you can go on to the other sections. So that's only 2 coins. We'll be right. I'll take the fusion core. We'll go on to Red Rocket to dump our stuff. So we can get some Psycho Jet, so we'll do that. And I recommend making buff tats if you're wanting a more of a something you can use in combat. Otherwise, save up your mentats to get to make berry mentats, because they last 8 minutes. You get +5 intelligence, and you can see all targets around you. So yeah, and look, the resources are pretty common. The antifreeze bottles are a bit harder to get, but most vendors sell them, so it's all good. Yeah, perk point. I haven't got a rifle yet, so I won't get that. I don't want to get gun nut at the moment either. I might get locksmith. Yeah, no, I will. So, locksmith level 4. Next level, we'll get sneak up. Level 6 we'll decide then. Hopefully we'll be able to, yeah, I reckon gun nut at level 6. And then, yeah, we'll see how things go. Okay, let's do some more cleaning around here just until Garvey gets to Sanctuary. Then we can hand in that quest. I hate how you can't remove that railing. It's quite annoying. Where did I put that? What? I actually... Yeah, how does that, like... I don't know. And we'll store that. We might need something like that when we're actually going to build. Okay.
Hey.
I'm glad you decided to come with us. I should have listened to Mama. I think we could settle down.
Uh-huh. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Before?
I lived here.
Damn. You say you were...
I don't want to talk.
No worries. Anyway, I am glad you're here. And I hope you don't mind. I've had word. The only chance of trouble is...
Right. You have to say yes, even if you don't want to, in order to complete the quest.
By the way,
And if you press no, like, or something, you have to go through all that conversation again, which isn't really something that you want to be doing. I was at the start when you don't have any real food plantation stuff here. Just pick up a couple of these, and over time you'll have a okay, that looks alright. We'll get rid of that. It's broken. Okay. So generally you just have to go through one house and scrap everything. Then you have enough to complete the little side quest for I forget his name. Basically you just have to build up like real basic stuff for Sanctuary. See, I generally just go through my home, or the player's home, and just scrap everything I come across. And if you're a sentimentalist, keep those there. You know, because you can't build them unless you get mods. I swear there was another thing here that you could get rid of. Okay, then that looks good. I'll quickly just sneak up again. Sturgis, that's the name. This is actually in this building. I usually scrap this building as well.
I'd be glad to help.
Well, just make sure there's a workbench over there.
And beds are located in furniture and beds. So I do have a DLC, well, I have all of the DLCs, but I think it's Vault-Tec that gives you this bed. Anyway, you can make like way more than just your average bed of these. If you're doing role playing, then I would probably make a different bed, like say this one. But I'm not really interested in that. I've just got to make some beds they can sleep in. So I'll tidy them up later for you guys. That's 4. I think we need one more. I'll just chuck it there.
Don't take it.
Hey, Sturgis.
I like it. She's having a place in her. Well, we need.
I'm on it. Clean water?
Great.
See, that's why I scrapped this bit here. You need concrete to make something like that. You can also scrap this in the box there. You don't want to scrap that house. So yeah, that's under resources and water. I generally like to do this one. I don't have enough resources. That really, to be honest, you really need screws for other things and oil. So, making this one is like a better choice anyway. And we just need another gear, which we could find someplace. I believe it's... Okay, so I still have to go find a gear.
Sanctuary. I knew you'd join.
I really don't know where I could just find a key to be scrapped. What is it later?
You want my 2 caps? We should keep moving. Don't want to.
Okay, we'll do that one later. And what we need to do is get the intelligence bobblehead. So we'll head down to Diamond City. So the trick with going down to Diamond City is to not get into any fights and don't explore any locations. I end up exploring the bridge and Well, and of course the library, because that's where the intelligence bubblehead is. But yeah, stay away from everything else until you get the bubblehead. Now you can go back and explore things. So I made it to the bridge. Yeah, you can go around there if you want, if you're really fussy about it, but it's, to be honest, one location isn't going to matter too much. So to get to the library, we turn left here, just hug the wall and then drop down. There's usually some cash in there, so make sure to check that, and we come around up. So now remember, you got to sneak through here because there's a few raiders around here. But you know, sneak at level 2. You know, you easily go through that. And if you do get found, and just run up here, this guard will take care of them, or help you take care of them. What's going on with this? Okay, so there's some feral balls here. Oh, it's a few more than what I thought. But there's usually only 2 here, not 3. So I'll switch over to the shotgun. And wait as long as you can. And this is why you need Jet. So I've pretty much failed this. So we'll just use Jet and finish him off. And there we go. Yeah, those guys can be nasty. There's usually only 2 there, which is pretty easy, but yeah. We'll call this the end of the first walkthrough. Next episode we'll go into here and get the bobblehead, move on with the quests. So, see you guys then.